Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Designed by Deshe. I am Audrey Deshe, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through one of my favorite projects ever. This one is so near and dear to me because this ended up being my first successful flip. So yeah, this is the first one I ever sold. So it's got sentimental value and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I found this on Amazon Marketplace. It was originally being sold for $49 and I was able to talk him down to $45 because, I love to negotiate and hey, $4 matters. So immediately upon seeing it, I wanted to do a total transformation. So right now you're seeing me cleaning it off, and then I decided to go ahead and separate the base from the legs because that was going to be so much easier just overall. So there were only, I believe, 6 screws holding this into place. I was able to just pop those out, and then I, went ahead and separated that. I was at it, I decided to go ahead and separate the base of the stool from the cushion because I will be reupholstering that as well. While this piece was overall in great condition, I did notice that some of the bolts were loose in the stool, so that's what I'm doing now, just taking the opportunity to tighten those all into place and make sure everything's going to be sturdy and stable. I'm now going in with a 220 grit sanding block. I'm going to give this about 4 passes. I just want to roughen up the varnish enough that the all-in-one paint and primer is going to soak in. I'm not fully trying to remove it. Once everything was thoroughly sanded, I took a damp microfiber cloth and wiped away all of the dust and debris before moving on to painting. Alright, and here we are laying on our first coat of paint. I don't have any particular, method. I just try to make sure that all of my brush strokes go the same way and, that I just get good thorough coverage. This is a paint and primer all-in-one, and all of the products used will be listed in the description box below. It says that it will cover in one coat, and I knew that was not going to be the case. It did take me 4 coats, but it did cover beautifully and this glossy finish behind, which I really loved. Here's what it looked like after 2 coats, and it is quick drying paint, so after about 20 minutes or so, I will go on and lay on the rest. Alright, and this is one of my favorite parts of the project. Whenever I initially saw this in my head, I wanted to decoupage it with handwritten script quotes, right? And I wanted it to be really romantic, so I wanted it to be these wonderful quotes about love throughout the ages. So I was having a hard time finding them, and then I got the idea to just do it myself. So I found these scrapbooking sheets that look kind of old and weathered and torn around the edges, and I took a fine-tipped Sharpie and I am dusting off my old cursive writing, and I am handwriting these quotes myself. I had 50 sheets and I used all 50 of them. I changed, the angles of the writing, I swapped the sheets, horizontally and vertically so that, once I put these all together in this decoupage collage, it'll look genuine. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. I have already laid out a preliminary pattern on the top that I'm going to play with, and the rest of those sheets that you saw in my hand, those are going to be decoupage lining the interior of the vanity. I wanted to show you guys just how easy it is to decoupage something, and this is a great hack to, save an old piece of furniture or add a little bit of razzle dazzle for cheap. You don't have to do a whole lot. These are really simple methods. I am taking Mod Podge and a foam brush, and I am brushing the Mod Podge onto the vanity, and as you can see, I'm just measuring to make sure that everything is even and where I want it to go. And then once I do that, I'm going to layer my pieces of paper on in the pattern that I want them to go in. Once that is laid, I will go over all of it with additional layers of Mod Podge to seal them into place. Now I'm going to let you guys see how I did this entire top panel. Now while I'm getting this laid down, you know what I'm going to ask you. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel yet, if you haven't, guys, please do so. I have new projects coming out regularly. I want you guys to see them first. So go ahead, hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you can follow along. I did want to note really quickly here, because you see me brushing the Mod Podge directly onto those scrapbooking sheets instead of, onto the sheet below it. This is just going to make it easier and cleaner, because you're putting a liberal amount on, but you want it to be smooth so that, whenever you smooth it out with your fingers, there's not a bunch of bumps and ridges. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. This is a definitely cleaner method than just kind of spreading a bunch of Mod Podge around and then, putting the sheets on top of it. Now that all of the scrapbooking sheets have been Mod Podged down, I am going over it and I'm doing an additional 6 layers of Mod Podge. This is because I want it sealed in with a kind of harder, smoother surface where you can't feel any of the ridges. And the trick to this is just make sure that each layer of Mod Podge dries before you add the additional. That's going to remove, it drying white flakes. It should dry clear if you're doing it right. With my last coat of Mod Podge drying, I'm moving on to reupholstering the vanity stool. I am moving the black liner out of the way, but I am not removing the existing fabric. Since this is already so thin, I'm going to upholster over it to give it more cushion. And if this fabric looks familiar, it is indeed the same curtain fabric that I used to reupholster that 3-tiered Ottoman. Not only does it go perfectly with the new vanity makeover, but I had just enough left to cover this tiny stool. And this is why I say keep everything and reuse everything. So I'm measuring the fabric down, and then I'm going to cut it to size and then staple it into place. And then I'm going to reattach it to the base and show you guys the product. If you remember before, it was plain and a little boring, definitely outdated. And now we have something fresh and creative and wholly unique, something that is truly one of a kind, and something that I hope inspires romance in the person who purchased this. I gave the updated drawer pulls. I love the way that the new fabric plays against the new color scheme. And before, whenever you opened it up, it was just bare. And now, whenever you flip it open, you have all of these lovely quotes about love and life and romance. And, it feels like the perfect little place to stow away your own letters or anything really. I just really hope that the person who bought this loves it as much as I loved making it. Here I staged it with a couple of different items, took us some great pictures and then put it up on Marketplace. And I am happy to report that after 12 days on Marketplace, it did sell. So I made a profit, and it was my first time. So I was very happy, and I'm so glad that I was able to share this with you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.